Hey, Kat. Doing good today. How are you doing? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, the last 2 lives I did last week, it took me like 10 minutes to figure out how to go live. And the week before, it took me probably 5. But hey, third time's a charm. I'm a slow learner, but I figured it out and went live on time today. So, Kat, have you done any more mastermind classes lately? I know a couple weeks ago you had mentioned one that you had just attended. Do you know on the live if you can, like right now I can see who's chatting, but how do I see who's watching? It tells me 6 people are watching, but is there a way to tell me who's watching? So yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes and then I'm going to show you guys my new hand plane. This is the Veritas Boxmaker's Plow plane. So we're going to make a box today on the live. Hey Ryan, what's up, man? Is that... California in the house. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started since we got a few people here. So I've already milled up some walnut. This is some sapwood. Let's see if you guys can see that. Let me get down here, change the angle a little bit. So this is some walnut I had. It's not real dark, so you got a lot of sapwood on one spot. The other side's got a kind of a cool pattern. So when I rip these boards, I don't have a good way to resaw. So I run the boards down the middle of the table saw and flip them around, and then they come off, and then I run them through the planer or the drum sander. So basically, you can tell these were the same board because you got that cool grain pattern, right? Let's see if you can see that. So you've got this really cool grain pattern. So this is what I want to be the outside. So I'm going to label this. And then I'm also going to put a letter there. That tells me that A and A go together. And then that also means I want this to be the top. Hey, Bo, thanks for dropping in. Then I've got these other two pieces. They're the real light sapwood. So I've already got those marked for the inside. And you're basically just putting it however you like it. It's basically the orientation you like. So I'm good with this being the top. So this is going to be the outside, top. I'm going to say B, B. B, which means this guy is going to be A to A. Let's think about this. I could be wrong here. Never done this in front of a live audience. Let's see. A. It's going to be B. Really going to be. Yeah, I've got this off a little bit. That's okay. We're going to flip this one around so that we get the grain match. So yeah, we're going to flip this around. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. Top. Hey, baby kisses. Thanks for stopping in. I'll catch up on comments here in a minute. So we got B to B. We got A to A. And we're going to do C here to C. Make sure we got that. That's the top. So we're going to flip it around. So I'm going to put an X where we're going to, the next step for us is to use the hand plane. But let me check up on comments real quick and then we'll get started with that hand plane. Hey, Amy Joe, what's happening? Amy Joe, just don't forget to cook the spaghetti and you'll be okay. Well, I thought Joe would be here. He saw my, have you guys ever used a software that lets you stream with 2 cameras? That's what I was playing with earlier this morning, and I didn't realize it would post it immediately. I thought it would let me. So Joe saw me in my athletic pants in my bedroom. So, but I'm looking for a software. I've got 2 phones, and I want to be able to have. I think it'd be really cool to be able to live stream this view, and then a top-down view. So, oh yeah, I thought you were there, Amy Joe. But I think that'd be really cool. So if you guys see a free software to make that happen, let me know. So far, I've only found paid software, and I'm not willing to pay right now. So, all right, so let me show you what I've got, and then we'll get to making some grooves for these boxes. So I got this cool, see if you can see that. It's called a bench dog. It's called the WonderDoog by Veritas. And I got this at a fellow woodworker. He was getting rid of a bunch of stuff. So I think I paid like 20 bucks, so nothing. I think these are probably 75 or 80 new. So you just drill a hole, and this spring loaded, it holds it in. Let me show you. This is the first time I used it other than yesterday setting this up. Oh, nice, Amy. So you could just smile and look mischievous and they wouldn't know what you're thinking, right? So this is a little vise. So let's say we're going to do this board first. I've got a hole for a dowel. So I put it there. I drilled a little hole for a dowel, and then you can tighten this vise, and it puts pressure here. So now I can run this plane along this edge. So I haven't tried it on walnut yet. Hey Ray, what's happening? And then this is what I got myself for Christmas this year. Veritas Boxmaker's Plow plane. So it basically lets you make the grooves for drawers, and it also lets you make rabbets at the end. It also lets you do like decorative rounded beads. I bought all that, but I haven't used it. I just pulled it out of the box yesterday. I wanted to do a video on it. So this is what it looks like. It's got a little depth stop here. So that's basically the depth that you're going to go. Oh, yeah, that's a great Christmas present, Kat. I was pretty excited, but I've been so busy. I just unboxed it yesterday just to get ready for this live. So basically, it's got this, a slide, or fence is what this is. And then it's got the little blade here. By default, it has a 3/16 inch blade, so that's what we're working with. But I bought the extra blade, so I think I can go 1/16 up to 1/4 inch. And then if you look down it, this is what you're seeing. You're just going to let just a little bit of that blade protrude along this line. And that's what it's going to cut off each stroke. And then the depth is determined by this stop here. So it'll go as deep as this piece of metal. So I've only used this a couple times yesterday, so bear with me. It's very sharp. So our next step is to basically just cut the grooves here. So let's give it a shot. Now, yeah, hit that like. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. So here's my hold fast. When I got into woodworking like 7 or 8 years ago, I started out with a couple of ads, like the hand tools that help you carve out a bowl. So I made a bowl. I think the bowl took me 12 or 13 hours, and I sold it at a craft show for like 20 bucks. So I was like, woohoo! And then I bought a hold fast,
What this is supposed to do, I don't know the correct hole size, so I just went and found this for the video, and I added some leather to protect the wood. But what this does, if you get the correct hole, you tap it down and it's gonna hold this really tight, but I don't have the hole correctly, so I couldn't get that done in time for the video. But I'll figure that out. Someone will hit me up and let me know. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. So really, we've got all our boxes labeled. Catch you guys up. We got all our boxes labeled. The side of the X is gonna be where I'm gonna put this groove, and just let me switch the camera and we'll see what we can do. So I'm just holding this down against the fence, and it's a two-handed operation. You really have to put a little force into it. And it's just gonna make little grooves. I think I might be getting too big of a bite. Yep, it's coming loose on me. See, I wanted something to hold this down. Let me see. Actually, I think I've got an idea. Let me grab something real quick. Nails me or what? It didn't want to work on me. Oh, I'm dead. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just trying to put a little bit of force on that to give me a little holding power, because you really do have to give this a little bit. And you can, I'm going to unloosen this so I'm not taking off such a big bite. Let's see if that's going to do anything. And it's really a trial and error thing. Oh, that's better, I think. Maybe. Of course, it's a lot easier to do this on a table saw with a dado stack, but I'm trying to get back into hand tools where it's less dust and less noise and a little more enjoyable. I think it's still just trying to dig in there. Let me take a little bit less off. Once I get the depth set, we'll start jamming. Not too much. Didn't take anything off that time. That's a little better. That's a little less. Get this a little tighter here. And it doesn't have to be a crazy deep groove, because this material is only like a 1/4 inch thick. Not taking off much. I need to go a little more. And you can get that out of alignment really easy, so you got to really just play with it. Okay, so we're starting to get a groove, especially, let me zoom in here. Hey, Runic, thanks for stopping in, man. Yeah, this is the new hand plane. Catch up on some comments here. Holy crap, do I really have 40 people watching? That's insane. Or am I... Hey, I got old eyes. I could be reading that incorrectly. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. So, let's keep going. See if we can get this one done. Okay, now we're starting to get some good shavings, but I still need to get in here. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Gonna have to baby it. And I'm gonna change my depth stop here. There's the depth of cut. I don't wanna go quite that deep. That was when I was testing it on a thicker piece. Because, you know, when you're making a box, you don't need a huge depth. That's just really to let the bottom of the box or the float. Holy crap, we got 41 people in here, y'all. Hit that like button. Yeah, man, appreciate you. Holy crap, what's up? All right, so we changed that a little bit. And this is really, it's absolutely a two-handed thing, and I'm putting my body in it. It's not, and it's a sharp blade, so you got to really put some muscle into it. There it goes. Okay. This entry point had to be adjusted a little bit. All right. All right, guys. Woo! We got the first board done. I think we got it dialed in, though. So now, let's see. Just unwind this cool little, oh, the other way. Unwind, not wind. This little clamp. Since we already have it set for this piece of wood. Oh, I got that on. I was like, hey, it's not coming out. So that guy's ready. Here's my other piece. Slide it up under there. Tighten her up. See if we do any better this time. There we go. I still think I'm taking a little bit too large a bite, but it's definitely making some progress. It shouldn't be that hard. If it's this hard when you're using a hand plane, you're taking too big of a bite, or you're not sharp enough, or you need to wax it. But this is new and sharp, so none of that applies. It's just a learning curve. You definitely, once I figure out which hole to make for this, that'll definitely make a big difference to be able to hold something just like that, and I won't need anything like that. So holding is a big deal when you're hand planing. Bring this out just a little bit. All right, that second one went a lot quicker. All right. I'm going to catch up on questions real quick. Here's that box if you want to check it out. For those of you that came on later. And then this is that WonderDoog that I'm using right here. For those of you that came in late, holy crap, we have 76 people in here. You guys are awesome. So I got this if you guys ever have the chance, look on Facebook, join your local Facebook woodworking group. What happens a lot is people pass away and their wives or friends try to sell their tools. In this instance, this guy was just downsizing. So I think this is 75 or 100 bucks. I got it for like 20 bucks. It was brand new in the box. So let me catch up on comments and we'll do these other two. And then what I'm also going to do, I've got the table set up to where we're actually going to do the 45 degrees and actually going to assemble this box today. Now, here's one thing I do need your input on. I'll catch up on, here, I'm going to do the comments first. Hold on. Let's see. Thanks, everybody. Hey, hit that like button, everybody. Get a good view there. Kizzy, yeah, send me a message online and I'll send you the model or you can take a picture. But that thing is freaking awesome. Yeah, Runic, that blade is right out of the box. Did you see a burn on it? I'm trying to think what you're talking about. I don't know. Oh, a burr, sorry. Yeah, it's cutting like butter. It's just, it's like any hand plane. You really need to take small bites, small cuts. Yeah, thanks, Runic. You guys are awesome. All right. So I think we're cool on that. Let's move on to the next one. So I still want to change my depth of cut. I'm trying to think what a better way would be. So it should be much easier. I don't know what that one does, so. Nope. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one did. But I don't want to I don't think I'm going to change it. Let's keep going. But when the box is done, I milled up, I need you guys to give me your opinion. I milled up 3 different sheets of wood yesterday. I glued them up and then I drum sanded them today. That's how I make my box bottoms and panels. So these are both ash. I was thinking the ash would go well on the bottom. And this box isn't going to have a top. It's going to be more like a valet, like maybe you put a remote in or, I don't know. I just think they look cool and they're easy to make. I need to make a box where it has the top and the bottom, and then you run it through the table saw after everything's dry, but I've never made one of those. So what do you guys think? I was thinking the ash for the bottom, or here's some walnut, but this walnut is not from the same board. But I like to accentuate any holes. It just looks cool. So this is another panel. So you guys tell me, what do you want? And that's what we'll do today. Either an ash or a walnut bottom panel. What do you think is going to look better with this wood? Do you guys think about that? And I'm going to keep making these happen. So what I did yesterday to get ready for the live, I just drilled holes at different locations depending on the length of your board. And so now, let me find my other dowel. You don't have to have fancy clamps, guys. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars. This is just a couple of dowels. You can do something as simple as this. I've got this scrap piece of wood holding it down. That's actually doing pretty good. You could actually put a screw in this. You could actually put a screw in this and give it a lot more pressure if you wanted to hold it even better. So you don't have to have the fancy clamps. This though, this is the first time I used it. I'm digging it a lot. So let's tighten this bad boy up and see what we can do. Let's see if you can see this, guys. Yeah, there we go. Holy crap, man. We still have 80. You guys are freaking awesome. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, hit that like, y'all. Come on now. All right, let's keep going. Oh, man, that cut a lot better. Okay, so that's cutting better, but let me see if you guys can see how I'm standing when I'm doing this. I don't know. Let me back up here. Let me back the camera up. Because I want to show you what I'm having to do this. It's not, holy crap, 112. Wow. So I am putting some, I'm leaning my body back, and I'm actually coming in here. It's a little bit of work, but it's possible. I mean, I'm not taking off that much, but I could probably go a little shallower. This seems to be working pretty well. But if you've ever used a hand plane, if you're making a groove like that, it does take some effort. It's not easy necessarily. It takes a while to get the hang of it. And I am by no means an expert, so don't quote me on any of that. So this is what's cool though. For those of you that just joined or hadn't seen it, this is my depth stop. So there's no guesswork. Once I stop cutting, once you can hear the wood stop cutting, I'm done and I add the fourth piece. Once we get the fourth piece cut with the groove, we're gonna go over to the table saw. I've already got it set up with my sled, cut some 45s, and we'll assemble this bad boy. Okay, it's starting not to cut. That means I'm just about done. Okay, last board. What's up? Let's catch up on some comments. Let's see what you guys think on the bottom. Back this up. Yeah, catch-all, Runic. That'd be a good one, man. Cool, baby kisses. Yeah, I think the ash gives a good contrast. Oh, but then you said walnut. Okay. Ash bottom, you got to make the walnut pop. Gotcha. Yeah, Michael, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, the blonde wood is cool. That ash, it looks pretty good. And at my lumber yard, it's actually pretty inexpensive. Most of this scrap wood I have is from wood. When I build like a table, a dining room table or a cabinet, I'll have extra wood. So I get a lot of wood scraps. Thanks, Kat. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's a good workout, y'all. All right. Back that ash up, wood. I love it. All right. Ash it is, y'all. Back that ash up. Need a t-shirt with that. I think that's awesome. That's funny. I don't care who you are. And you get, yeah, guys, this is working so well. Now, if you guys want to, you don't have to buy this. They've got, this is just called this is a vise, but you could also do the same thing, and you could screw down a thinner piece of wood that's not as tall as this. Or you could even I've seen them where you put a couple of screws down and they act as stops, as long as they're lower than where you're trying to plane. But the problem with the screw is you might mar your surface. So, I don't know. A lot of different options. If you need more info, hit me up, because I was researching a few different inexpensive options. but I just happened to have this and bought it years ago. So, all right, last one. Let's go. Come on, baby. What's up? I think it just hit a spot or something. I don't know. Might not have it in as good. Oh, I didn't have it as tight. That's the problem on my vise. That's better. Yeah, and one thing when you're using hand planes, those shavings, you've got to get them out. This is pretty good though. This doesn't get clogged up, but you need to make sure the shavings is out so that your blade can cut. If you have shavings in there, your blade won't cut. Board number 4. What's up? That is freaking cool, y'all. Oh, that is so nice not having dust flying everywhere, cutting that on the table saw. Because I know a lot of people don't have a dado stack, so I've got a dado stack. And I can't tell if you can see this, but there is one problem with this tool. I should have thought about that. I'm getting a little tear out down here. Can you guys see that? And do you guys know what a chip breaker is? Usually there's something when you're planing wood, it will score the wood. That way when you cut, it does a clean cut. It's kind of like when someone uses a marking knife and scores it, that cuts the fibers briefly or lightly. So if I would have done that right here, I would have got a cleaner cut. Also, if I wouldn't have went quite as deep on the blade depth. So, all right, let's catch up on the comments. Then we're going to go to the table saw. So this is actually pretty quick. It really goes by a little quicker than you think. HWC, thanks for joining, man. I'll have to check out your newest video. I've got it in my watch later list. We're gonna move over there. Here's a project I have in the shop this week. I'm ripping out the wicker and reupholstering chairs, so I'll be making a video on that. Catching up, let's see. Yeah, the notifications, a lot of people have been complaining about that. All right, guys, so let's switch. Let me get this set up. I'm just going to leave the camera here and zoom in for you. A wheel knife. Oh, yeah, Runic. That's what I should have used. I actually got a new one a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's what I should have used. It would have, yeah, that's the marking knife I've seen people use, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. Cool. So the next step, we're going to move over. Let me show you what I do with these boxes. So this is what I like to do. You know, I mean, a lot of videos show it to you. It's true. So let's just step these out. So we know all these with the groove are inside. So we know when we cut, let me grab my marker here. This is just so when you go to the table saw, you're not screwing something up. We know we're going to be cutting like that, right? You can see that white. It's just to get your cut orientation. So we know we're going to be cutting like that. I mean, you could skip this step, but honestly, man, I've messed more boards up than I care to admit. So it just saves you a little bit of hassle. All right. So let's go put cut these up. I'm gonna go put some PPE on. I always wear a respirator and glasses and ear protection. See you, Amy Jo. Let's see where to go. Oh man, where'd my mask go? Oh. Guess I'll wear my back up. All right, I'm back. Let's see what I missed.
Do we really freaking have 111 watching? That is insane. Baby kisses. Yeah. I've got some nice tools I saved up. This is my full-time gig for the last 3 years. I do custom furniture, woodworking, and I do laser. I manufacture products with my laser. But for years, I would work part-time. I started out using free pallet wood and cutoffs from cabinet shops that were free. And I used to make farmhouse furniture. And every time I'd make a sale, I would save up and buy a new tool. So most of these tools took a long time to save up for. Yeah, once you get going, Kat, and you've got your stop block in place, you can crank them out. Now, I did get a little tear out, but on the saw, we'll see, we'll know, we're gonna see how we did on the 45s. But there's a lot of things that can throw the box off if you didn't get the wood the correct thickness. You know, if you had dust on your sled, that can throw off your cut. All kinds of things. So let's get this out of here. Make some room. So we already knew. There's B. Make sure you guys can see this. So there's our B. And there's our B. So we're going to lay everything together. Put some tape. This is just a dry fit. A lot of times you'll see someone, they'll put like a, they might put a board and glue it down or clamp it down here, like kind of like a straight edge so it keeps these aligned. But usually I don't find it necessary for a smaller box. So where's A? Which one we have? There's A. So A to A. Oop. I think I got off a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I got off a little bit. Let me get you guys zoomed in a little better. Sorry. There we go. That's a little better. Let's zoom it in just a little. Oops, that guy moved. Sure they all line up. Here's the moment of truth. What are you doing, sir? Hey, Vladen Kirstik. Thanks for joining. We just, for anybody that joined in the last few minutes, this is the first time using my Veritas Plow plane. So we use that to make these slots. We're making a valet or a box. We just put our 45 markings or cuts on the table saw. And now we're going to do a dry fit to see how we did. Yeah, valet box. Thanks, Kat. All right. Hey, good news. We taped it up correctly. Our slots are all in the same spot, right? All right, let me get a better zoom in because it's always exciting if it goes together. We'll see. I haven't test fit it without you guys, so let's see it. Drum roll. All right.
Looks like this corner is off a little. Hey, that looks pretty good. That's not horrible. This corner over here could be better. Let's zoom in and see if you guys can see it. That's a good joint. That's a good joint. That one's good. That one could be a little better, but let's see. Oh, drawer sides. Oh, well, you know what? Cat, you could use this plane for making drawer sides, but if I was going to make a whole kitchen full of drawers, this would be a lot of work. So, all right. So this corner, you know, this is the corner that I had some tear out right there. So that's going to suck a little bit, but hey, I'm not selling this. So that's going to be fine once you glue it, sand it. So the next step, so our dry fit, our joints look good. So that means the table saw is dialed in for making 45s. So we're good there. So the next step is to cut. You guys voted on making an ash bottom. So first of all, let's see if it's actually long enough, because I just kind of winged it. Let me grab a tape measure. So we're at 11 1/4, plus we've got to go the depth of the slots. So let's see how long these are. Not long enough. Oh, crap. Made the box too big. Yeah, these aren't long enough. Well, good news. Let's see. I was going to say if I had the tear off, I could cut that off to get rid of that if the tear off was on this piece. Give me a second here. So we are right under 11. Right, 10 7/8. So 10 3/4. So we really need to make the length 10 1/2. So I'm gonna go back to table saw and shorten these so it works with my stock. Give me a sec. Then I'm just gonna leave the camera here and I'll go change that real quick. Yeah, you know, that's why. Yeah, I should have measured before. Yeah, that tear out wasn't too crazy looking from the outside of the box, but it does kind of bug me. But I'm not trying to sell it. I'll just leave it. And I could sand it a little bit more this time as well. All right, let's try this again. Holy crap, 126? What? Joe, did you finally make it? Joe, what's up, man? Yeah, Joe, everyone's been talking about that. Back that ash up, baby kisses. Hey, Joe, I know you liked my athletic pants today. Hey, Nicole, thanks for joining. I like your work area. That's going to be great. Yeah, Kat, that ash wasn't quite long enough, and I had already, milled up 3 different panels. It's something I should have checked a couple hours ago. Alexander, yeah, man, I got a lot of tools. I use them all the time, though, so you got to have them. Let's see. Let's try this again. Let's see if you guys can see this. Let me switch this down here. All right. Let's be. I'm just going to line these back up. Pull the tape tight. And that's also what I do when I glue this up. The blue tape acts as your clamp. And while I'm here, we're going to get the depth of our slot. I don't know off the top of my head. So this Craig tool tells you the depth. You can also use a traditional square. So I'm at 1/8 of an inch depth. So when I measure the inside of the box, I'm going to add 1/4 inch, and that's how big the panels need to be. If that makes sense. All right, need some more tape. You guys can still see that. Yeah, okay. Just checking. You know, guys, they call it woodworking, not perfection. There's always going to be mistakes, and when you make something, you're going to always see the mistakes when other people don't. So just enjoy the process and go with it. You'll get better as time goes on. Try something new. Don't be afraid to try something new. Because, man, a lot of this for me is new. Every time I get a custom order something I haven't made before, that's new. All right. Oh, need more tape. Need to tape this guy back up. Add it too tight. Oh, flip this guy around and did it the wrong way. Come on, man. Let's do this again. Put this guy backwards. And this guy came loose. All right, let's try this again. I think that some of this cheap tape comes off easy. Come on, man. Got this off-brand blue tape. Okay. That's what she's looking like. That corner still bugs me over here. That can be fine once it gets glued up. Okay. That's not 100% square, that's why. All right. So now we're going to measure to cut our base. If I knew what I did with the tape measure. So I am at 9 7/8. Actually, I'm at 9 15/16, and I'm going to add a quarter. So what is that? 10 3/16. So 10 3/16 is going to be my panel length. And you know, you have a little bit of wiggle room. Like, more than likely, that's going to be a tad too tight. But you'd rather make multiple cuts instead of going too short. You can't add more wood. And then for our width, we're 6 1/4, so we're going to make it 6 1/2. I'm going to double check. Yep, 10 3/16, 6 1/2. All right, let's go cut it on the table saw. We're just about to get this guy glued up. I appreciate you guys watching with me. I know it's a long one for me. New beginnings, thanks for joining me. Yeah, Nicole, that's not a bad idea, speeding up the video sometimes. Chase. Who's Chase? Which one is that, Joe? Is Chase HWC? No, that's Cody. Is Chase New Beginnings? Cool. What's up, Chase? All right, we're going to cut this real quick and come back and glue it up. All right, let's see how we did. All right, let me check these comments real quick, and we'll do a final fit. That sounds like a fun project, Alexander. All right, EW is going live at 4, so I got something to do at 4. Hey, did CapCut go away with TikTok? I thought I heard someone online mention that today, and I was like, I didn't realize. I don't know. All right, let's see if it fits. And it's very common to need to trim the panel, so. Pick the side you like the best. Let's see. I kind of like that one. So point it up. Something's off. Let's see. Something's off here. Come on. Get you guys a better view in there. I don't know if CapCut is. Oh, it did go away. Holy crap. That's what I used to edit all my videos. Holy crap, man. I don't know what I'm going to do to edit videos then. I didn't know if that was accurate or not. So you guys see I'm having to force this in. I think it's a tad too long, so I'm going to go trim that. Well, let me think. Let me try to fit it one more time. Yeah, see I have this weird corner over here, so it's definitely, see that? It's definitely pushing out too long. Oh, same way on that one. So yeah, I'm just a little long, so I'm gonna go trim the panel 1/8 of an inch. All right, I'm back. Let's try this again. Okay. So that's a good fit so far. Hey, it's looking more promising. Come on, baby. All right. Looks like it'll work. All right, those joints all look good to me. Now it's time for some glue. Let's do it. We don't actually glue the panel in. Let me catch up on some comments real quick. Cut those back up. Yeah, I heard something about President-elect Trump is going to take executive action to allow TikTok to extend it, maybe. Hey, New Beginnings. Yeah, it's some black walnut, but it's some like sapwood stuff I've had forever. Oh, wow, Kat, you had 4,500 TikTok followers. I had like 76. Hey, Joe, what do you mean make some mods? What does that mean? post links for me. I have no idea what you mean. Yeah, hit me up. Shoot me an email, Joe. What do you mean by that? Because I'm not sure I'm following what you mean. It's all right. We're just about to add glue. Need to get the tape situation under control. Then we're about done, y'all. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Sorry I didn't talk much. I'm doing all the work here. Me and Kat. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been, I think for the first time making a box with this plane, it's fantastic. I'm going to really enjoy it. Let me show you. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. As someone said in last week's live, they said squirrel. I get sidetracked really easy. So, plus when you're trying to have conversations with a few people, I think last week was like 15 people. And if you guys, if you had any enjoyment out of this, hit that like and subscribe button. I usually, I'm putting out a video, 1 or 2 a week. I think next week's video is, I'll tell you about it. And I don't have any sponsors. This is all me, so. I'm trying to get, yeah, if you guys ever, I don't know, sometimes the cheap tape, 3M blue tape seems to be better, but just so expensive. Sometimes I go through a lot of it, so I try to save money. Sometimes you're not really saving money by buying the cheaper stuff. It takes you twice as long. It's all right. We're ready for glue. Now, we're not putting any glue in the slot. The whole reason, this is kind of like when you make a frame and panel door. You're allowing the panel, this is the panel, you're allowing it to float. Oh, I didn't know that, Alexander, about airplane props. Yeah, red frog tape is better, I'm sure. Yeah, 3M, man. It's all right. So let's glue this bad boy. Make sure which side I like. I'm good with that. Goes in my slot. Actually, I want this guy. I don't have a brush. They're somewhere. I lost them. I usually use these little brushes. Let me bust this glue open. And you really, a lot of people will put tape here so that they can peel off later if they need to, so you get a better finish. I typically don't do that. You probably could. But you're also not going crazy with the glue. I'm going to put a little more in there, though. And also what I'm going to do after this dries, I'll use my spline jig on the table saw. And on each corner, I'll be using it to put some splines in. I'll probably use maple for nice contrasting color. That adds a lot of strength because 45-degree joints are inherently weak. Especially, if you had a 3/4 inch piece, it'd be stronger, but this is really thin wood. So it's like a 1/4 inch or less. So you definitely want the splines. All right, almost there. Let's back this up. I was like, man, something ain't right. Grabbed the wrong panel. It's like, man, something feels weird. Come on, guys. Let me know I'm using the wrong panel. Just kidding. But I was using the wrong panel. It could be a little better there. That's that one side that, still a little gappy on that one. There's a little gap there. So that could have been better there. And I really, oh, there it goes. I was like, man, something's not quite right. There we go. See, I'm holding it tight and then I tape it. Then I'm kind of lining things up. Like with your fingers, you can line these two edges up. Now, one thing I learned, so there we go, guys. Check that out. We got a valet box. That is about, we finished up at 10.5 by 7. And it's 3.5 inches deep. I think that'd be great to hold maybe some remotes on the coffee table. Yeah, that pop was great, right? So let me go, I got to get a straw. Let me show you the straw trick. When you're doing corner glue ups, it's really hard to get that glue in this corner. But if you angle a straw, check that out. It'll just get rid of that glue for you. That was the only corner. I can tell, yeah, not perfect. I mean, this actually looks like a pretty weak joint. There's not a ton of glue. But I'll do a spline here and here. Then one last thing to do on that, and I'll let it dry until tomorrow. One thing you want to do is, I've got these little plastic squares. You clamp them, and that'll hold your box square as it dries. It's really important. The same thing, I have bigger versions that I made myself out of wood when you make cabinets or carcasses. So I'll just put this in opposite corners. Now it's already square, which is good. That means we did okay. But I haven't made a box, and it's been a while. I used to make a few every once in a while for craft shows, but I haven't made one in a long time. All right. So let me catch up on these comments. I'll show you what else I have coming out pretty soon, guys. Whoops. Check some of these comments out. How much, okay, Joe, I'm just now catching up. So how much clearance does the bottom slot have with the panel? It's a pretty tight fit, but there is a little gap. When I milled these down, I mean, it's less than a 1/16, but your wood expands and contracts. If anything, this panel will expand on its width, not typically its length. But you can look up, Oh, tables that will tell you the expansion on each species of wood. But it's a really tight fit. I mean, I wouldn't expect any problem. I've made them for a few years. Haven't had an issue with them. You just don't want it to rattle in there. Yeah, Kat, I can't wait to put some finish on it. One thing, let me show you the finish I'm going to use. I went out yesterday and bought, if any of you subscribe to Fine Woodworking magazine, they had an article last month, or in the last couple of months, about the best hard wax oil. Or wait, I'm saying that wrong. Hard wax oil. And they said Osmo Pollux oil was the best out of like 10 products. So I went to Woodcraft yesterday for this project, and I'm using clear satin. It's a one-step process. You know, I've used Rubio Monocoat on some furniture, and it has the wax and then it has a hardener. So you have to get a syringe and mix it exactly. And I wanted a one-step process. So when I saw that article, I said, I'm going to try that. And the hard wax oils, the good thing is, like if you had a piece of furniture, you don't have to hire a professional to sand it off and do all this. This touches up a lot easier than traditional polyurethanes. Hey, Carving Wizard, that's cool, man. First dado cuts, that's a big deal. They come in really handy. Hey, Nicole, what part of the country are you in? Yeah, baby kisses, that'll be a neat project. I've never made a flag box. My dad passed away about 6 years ago, and he was a veteran. That'd be a great project. All right, guys, so let me show you. I was going to show you some of the scrap wood. So here is one of my scrap wood piles. Walnut, maple, poplar, oak. It's pretty wild. When you build furniture, though, I've got some cherry. I just bought a 100 board footed cherry yesterday, or the day before. So this is a lot of good box making material. So I'm hoping to put this new hand plane to work. That'd be I'd get rid of some of the scrap wood, and I'd like to make some things to sell on Etsy again. So I don't think I showed you guys this last week. I talked about it on the live. I had a couple of cordless routers that went out on me during a project. So I went to Harbor Freight and bought this trim router. It's a Bear router for like $60. And it came in this dinky little plate. So I designed the plate and cut it out on my laser. It's 2 pieces of acrylic, and the screws are submerged, so they're countersunk. So it worked really well. So I made one out of wood, and then I made one out of plastic. So this worked great. You know, when you're routing, this gives you a lot more surface area, so you're not wobbling around, and you get a really nice cut. So that's one thing I did. I'm going to have a video coming out. Probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll have a video on how I designed that. And then I'll probably have another video on how I reupholstered these chairs. Because I'm taking out the wicker, I'm building a platform, and then I am going to reupholster it. So that'll be a fun adventure. Hey, my wild home. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Hey, Nicole, what kind of table saw are you thinking about getting? I started out like 7 or 8 years ago with a used Ryobi. And it was man, it was a piece of junk. The fence wasn't square, so you'd cut a board and it'd be off. I upgraded. That's what I did. I saved up and bought this DeWalt. So I think I've had it about 7 years, and I've really beat it up. Hey, Joe, what are you talking about? It says, I don't know if you went over it in the beginning or not. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hey, My Wild Home. Hit me up on social or tag me or something, man. I'm not sure about man, but I build dining room tables and cabinetry. So if you ever have any questions, you know, I read a lot of woodworking books and I've got a little bit of knowledge that I can share. So yeah, that'd be cool. I always wanted to build like a log cabin on some acreage. Oh, so home means an island on a lake. That's cool. I'll have to check that one out. So can you guys hear my audio? Yeah, Carving Wizard. You know, if you have any table saw questions, hit me up. If no one else, if you don't get an answer, you know, let me know. I can give you some feedback. You know, the biggest thing I would recommend, I see way too many woodworkers not wearing a respirator, not wearing eye protection, not wearing ear protection. And man, I'd like to do this for the rest of my life, so I like to wear all those. So hold on, I gotta check something, guys. I think let me see if the mic cut out. Hold on. Can you guys hear me now? Is that any better? Okay, you can hear me now? Good. Oh, I did today. I ordered a microphone from Amazon, so it'll be here in a few days. So I'll be wearing a mic next time. Yeah, I'm right behind the phone, so I guess that's better. Feels like I need a drink. Let me see. I was gonna check something out here. Holy crap, guys. Before the live, I had like 1,180 followers or subscribers. I've got 1,219 now. Thank you guys so much. That's amazing. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I need a drink or something. Hey, is this better? Thanks a lot, my wild home. Yeah, we need to get hooked up on social media. I want to see your spot. That sounds really cool. Hey, Kizzy, let me show you what I'm going to do. I actually removed the wicker. The wicker was in really bad shape. Let me get up here and show this to you guys. So I removed the wicker, and what I'm going to do is build a platform like quarter inch plywood that's going to be around, you know, a 1/2 inch in. And then I'm going to put 2-inch foam. Thanks, Kat. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the 2-inch foam, and then I've already got the fabric, and I've got some burlap fabric. So I'll be filming that, but it took me, here, let me walk over. I'll show you what the wicker looks like. Because it took me an hour each chair. I've only got 2 chairs done. but it took me an hour each chair. So out of the 4 chairs, this wicker is in perfect condition. But most of them were like this. So what I had to do was carve out this spline. So I use a mallet and a dull screwdriver. And it's piece by piece. Takes it about an hour is what I've timed it. So that's my project next week. And then I've also got to start. Sorry, the shop's a mess most of the time. And then this is what 100 feet of cherry looks like. I'm making 104 plaques for a local fishing tournament. So that's one of the things I do is laser engraving. For those that haven't seen it, this is my big boy laser. I do all kinds of stuff with it. Yeah, Kizzy, that wicker is like, the wicker isn't glued in, but that little spline, like the wicker hangs over the spline a little bit, and that spline is punched in. It looks like there's some adhesive, but that spline is really tight, so it holds in there. But new beginnings, what are you talking about, man? What do you mean, Chase? You looking at all my wood? Well, hey guys, I think I'm going to call it a day because I want to take a break. And was it New Beginnings that has a live at 4 o'clock? Okay, I'll show you the laser fired up. Here we go. Yeah, this thing, the bed size is like 35.5 by 51 inches. And I can put a piece of wood in there that's 9 inches tall. See you guys. Thanks, Red Prog. Yeah, my wild home. I do, I've actually got a video coming out on, I made a jig for engraving coasters last week. So yeah, this is one of the ways, this is another way I make money in my business. This is my full-time gig. So yeah, just let me know what you want to know. It really doesn't engrave metal, but what it can do, you can spray something called marking spray, and it'll etch. It won't etch into the metal, but it will burn the marking spray onto the metal. So hey, yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Yeah, I wish I could engrave metal, but not so much. But like, here's one of the things I make. This is one of the things I make and sell on craft shows. Oh, let me get this up here. Come on. Yeah, the Lord's Prayer. Big Thunder. Man, what was it? Yeah, this has been a fun live, guys. We got to back that ash up. Big Thunder. Hey, appreciate you guys sticking around. Yeah, if you guys ever have a laser question, I'm pretty good on lasers. I make a lot of ornaments customized for craft shows in my Etsy shop. So yeah, feel free, reach out, whatever. I'll help you with woodworking, laser engraving. If you want to see some leather work on the laser, let me know, because I do that as well. So appreciate you guys a lot for watching. New Beginnings Woodwork, I think, is at 4 o'clock, so go check them out. See you guys. Appreciate it.